Okay, what does 98 Capital's lending look like? We will do 100% financing. Believe it or not, I get that a lot. Like, you really will? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, if the after repair value is 75% or less, we'll do 100% of the purchase and rehab. Um, I highly recommend, if you don't, if you haven't thought about this, get a desktop appraisal before you buy. We can hook you up with somebody that does them all day, every day for a very affordable rate. I think it's 150 bucks. But yeah, we'll do 75% of after repair value, 100% financing. But that comes with a cost. And so we are 12 to 13%, depending on the area. That's the interest rate that we charge. We charge 5 points origination at closing. So in the typical example, let's just throw out a house is $50,000, you're doing $25,000 rehab, and it's worth $100,000. Hey, we'll do the purchase, we'll escrow the rehab for you to pay for it all. And then your cost is $5,000 at closing, plus the different fees that you might have for attorneys and your insurance and that kind of thing. But we're covering the cost to do that deal. So, but you got to have a few thousand in that deal to make it happen with the points and attorney fees and insurance and that kind of thing. So they are 6-month loans. We will do 2 3-month extensions that are 2.5 points each. So if it's that $75,000 example, I don't know that math. I should know that math, but several $1,000s to extend it for another 3 months. And then we can extend another 3 months. But after 12 months, that note is due and payable to be paid off. So just kind of prepare for that. What I've seen now, if you're doing a rental, there's 2 different tracks. If you're doing a rental, I've seen people pay off loans in probably 4 to 5 months, and in 6 months, worst case. Flips, it just depends on the area and the price point, and are you making a deal? Interest rates are still right there at 7% right now. This is July 14th of 2024. So hopefully we'll get a break in the next 6 months. But right now it depends on the area and depends on price point, but it could take several months after you finish that rehab to get it sold. So just be prepared for that. So what do we require? That's the second part of this video. We require a copy of the contract. If it's transactional loans, that's where you're putting on a contract and selling it to a hedge fund, typically, sometimes an end buyer out of state. We want both the contract with you and the seller and the contract with you and the buyer. So we want both those contracts. We need comps. How are you pricing this to get to that 75% ARV that we're talking about? Which obviously an appraisal would be just great to have to validate for us in our underwriting. Your experience, we want to show us your last several jobs, like what was the price point, what address, price point, rehab, and sales price, and how'd you end up in that deal. We want the rehab estimate kind of listed out by category. We want pictures or a video. Man, a video would be awesome. If you could just walk through that house, showing the address and showing each piece of the property. Hey, we're gonna paint all this. We're gonna fix that wall. We're gonna move this wall. We're gonna add flooring that's LVP throughout. The more description and explanation, man, you're gonna just rise to the top of being a great borrower, whether it was with us or with anybody else. So if there's anything you hear me say, just do stuff like the videos. We want the exit strategy. What are you gonna do? Are you trying to buy it, rehab it, rent it, and then refinance it? Or are you gonna try to buy it, rehab it, rent it, sell it? Or are you just buying it, rehabbing it, and selling it as retail? We wanna know that. And then the other piece that we're gonna need to know is just your cash reserves. We wanna make sure you have the cash to close with our points and the attorney fees, and then the 6 months of interest that you got put up to pay the interest per month. So those are the things that we're looking for mainly. And then Lay on my team will send you an email with some personal information to get from you, but nothing significant. We are asset-based lenders, so we're not gonna pull credit checks or anything like that. We are just looking at the asset and looking at your experience and your ability to pay the note over those 6 months to help you be successful. So again, any pushback or questions I probably should frame it like any questions you get from us is not pushback, it's trying to make sure you're successful. That is our goal. If you're successful, we're successful. And quite frankly, we just don't want you to fail. That is the number one goal for us, because if things go bad, it is hard to recover. And I'm happy to talk through this. The point of these videos is trying to hone in on what questions you might have or concerns you might have, and let's go deeper on those coming out of these videos. So that's why we're doing these, and I hope this helped.